And the part-time 2 preschoolers are going to put on a show for you. We've been working all week. So thanks for coming, and we will get started. Okay? The Mitten by Alvin Trusselt. It was the coldest day of the winter, and a little boy was trudging through the forest, picking up firewood for his grandmother. She said, "Bring back all you can find. And the north wind blows cold, and we must have a good fire to keep us warm." She was home knitting a new pair of mittens. All morning long, the boy worked picking up sticks until his sled was well loaded. And then a very strange thing happened. Just as he picked up the last stick, he dropped one of his mittens in the snow. Now, how a boy could do that on the coldest day of the winter, I'll never know. But that's the way my grandfather told the story. And off he went with his load of wood. And the mitten was left lying in a snowdrift. This is where we do a little magic. This is going to now become our mitten. We have so many animals that need to come and check it out. Okay, Jaden, you sit back here. Hold this. As soon as the little boy was out of sight, scurrying along through the woods came a little mouse. She was very cold, and when she spied the little boy's mitten with its feathery fur cuff, she popped right in to get warm. It was just the right size for a little mouse. Presently, a green frog came hip-hopping over the snow, and he said, "Anybody home?" And when he saw that mitten, and she said, "Only me."
Only me.
"And come in quickly before you freeze."
Come and get me before you freeze.
They had no sooner settled themselves snugly in the wool lining when an owl flew down. And he asked, "May I join you in that lovely mitten?" And the mouse said, "If you mind your manners." Because owls always made her nervous. And the frog said, "Don't wiggle around too much, because it's a bit tight in here." And he popped in. Well, it wasn't long before a rabbit came down the forest path, and she wanted to come in too. And she said, "Is there room for me in that warm mitten?" And the mouse and the frog and the owl said, "Not much space left." Go ahead, not much space left. But come in and we'll see what we can do. Okay, she popped right in. Even before the rabbit had gotten herself tucked in, a fox trotted up to the mitten and didn't even ask to come in. With a good deal of trouble, she snuck right in with the others. Now the mouse was beginning to think that maybe she shouldn't have been so generous. But with the bitter wind outside, what else could she do? And now, as if things weren't bad enough, the next visitor was a big gray wolf who wanted to come in too. And the mouse said, "I don't know how we'll manage it."
I don't know how I manage.
"But we'll try." And everybody wiggled around a little bit, and they made room in the mitten. That's fine. That's fine. And the wolf was squeezed into the mitten. It was very crowded by now, but at least it was warm. Okay, hold on to that mitten. Things had just gotten arranged nicely when the animals heard a great snorting noise. It was a wild boar, and she was very anxious to get in out of the wind. And the mouse cried, "Oh dear!" The mousy cried, "Oh dear!
Oh, dear.
We don't have any more room."
We don't have any more room.
But the boar said, "I'll be very careful." And with that, she switched herself into the mitten along with all of the other animals. But the worst was yet to come. For who should appear now but a great big bear? The bear was very cold and very big, and all of the animals said,
No!
Even before this big bear had a chance to speak. But the bear said, "Nonsense! There's always room for one more." And without so much as a please or a thank you, she began crawling into the mitten. First, she put her paw in, and the mitten creaked and groaned. Then she put her other paw in, and one of the seams popped. And she took a deep breath, and she pushed herself in. Now, while all this was going on, along came a little old cricket. She was very cold, and her creaky legs ached with the cold. And she said, "That looks like a nice warm place. I'll just see if I can squeeze into." But ah me, that was all that was needed to finish off the poor old mitten, because the cricket had no more than put her first scratchy foot inside, when with a rip and a snap the stitches came apart, popping the animals into the snow. All right, everybody scurry off.
Just like that, Landon.
All right, scurry up, Arna, scurry up. Arna, scurry over to the snowflakes. Ethan, you can scurry over too. Well, at this very moment, ready, Jaden? It's your turn. Jaden. At this very moment, the little boy who had been walking through the forest realized he only had one mitten. You can say, "I only have one mitten." So he went back to look for where he might have dropped it. And all he could find was a little mouse scurrying away with a bit of wool on her head. It looked a lot like the lining from his mitten. And he said, "Oh well." Say, "Oh well. My grandma will have my new mittens done." Say, "Grandma will have them done." And he hurried home, and my grandpa says he never did know what really happened to his mittens. The end. So let's do now. Everybody in the show, come over and go, ta-da! Stand up like that. Stand up, Landon. Say, ta-da! Ta-da! We've had a lot of fun doing that this week. They really did a nice job. We've changed up all of the different characters. They've all had a turn to do different things. So it was fun. So thank you for coming. All right. And I think what we'll do is, if your mommy's here or your dad is here, you can go give them a hug and get ready to go home. Okay?